Hello and welcome to Jessie Bear Book Club. Today we are reviewing The Prophet's Daughter by Anna LeBaron. I have read a lot of books focusing on Joel and Verlin's side of the LeBaron family, and I am very eager to read this book from the perspective of Ervil's daughter. Quite a change of pace, and jokes aside, this cult is frightening. I got this book free on Audible. If you are an Audible member, it is included. This is not a promotion. I just really like Audible. And now that they are including books in their membership, I'm getting access to much more stuff. And that makes me happy, and I wanted to tell somebody, so I'm telling you. My God, Anna LeBaron had a horrendous childhood. Even by polygamy standards, this was bad. Living in utter squalor with rats and cockroaches, no running water, no electricity sometimes, not seeing her parents for years at a time, constantly older men trying to groom her, and everyone around her hiding from the FBI. Traveling back and forwards between America and Mexico with no passport and no birth certificate, she only met her father Verlin on 3 occasions. How sad is that? Anna was constantly being taken in and out of school and being forced to work as a child laborer. Because of this, when she was in school, she struggled to keep up with kids her own age and fell behind very easily. I really loved the dumpster diving scene where Anna and her family get food from behind a supermarket. I have heard a lot about dumpster diving from people who have left the Order and the Kingston group, so it was great to get a first-hand account from someone who'd done it. And the scene where Anna climbed into the closed donation bin was actually very scary. I get claustrophobia, and the idea of being stuck in a metal box and your family driving away because people are catching you stealing, quite scary indeed. Especially if you are an 8-year-old child. Hearing firsthand about the forced child labour that Anna endured was chilling, and her jealousy of Dan Jordan's children, who she worked for, was so apparent, especially when they got new school clothes. The whole dynamic was incredibly interesting because Anna's father was the prophet, yet she was incredibly uncared for, unlike Dan Jordan's children. There are moments of happiness throughout the book, especially when Anna's family move away from Dan Jordan for a short amount of time. Unfortunately, however, Anna's mother, Anna May, is so brainwashed, she goes back to work for Dan Jordan, and her children refusing to put up with the horrendous forced labor treatments, run away from the cult. And Anna May puts up some resistance, but in the end barely fights at all to keep her children with her. Lillian, Anna's older sister, and her husband Mark were very kind for taking Anna in, but they did run her ragged, using her as an au pair and free labor in their workshop. I still thought they were kind, though. They simply had a cult mentality, until I found out Ervil had promised Anna to Mark as his second wife. When I found this out, I looked at Lillian and Mark in a very different light, whether they were born-again Christians or not. Their actions had taken on a sinister undertone that I simply couldn't get over. After Mark's murder and Lillian's suicide, the book becomes really born-again Christian and quite preachy, and I lost interest in the final quarter of it. I am proud of Anna that she managed to get over her family trauma, but the end of the book is very dull. It was interesting to find out, though, that Anna's mother, Anna May, is still a polygamist and now has a new prophet. Simply jumping from one prophet to the next strikes me as ridiculous, but that's just me. I give this book 6 out of 10. The beginning of it and the middle are very interesting, especially if you know the background of Ervil LeBaron and his side of the LeBaron cult. However, it lost me when it became incredibly born-again Christian. Simply not my bag, baby. If you enjoyed this review, you could check out Shattered Dreams by Irene LeBaron, or The Sound of Gravel, or His Favorite Wife, all of which focus on the LeBaron cult. I have some reviews of these books on my channel, so check them out. I'm sorry my channel has been on a bit of a polygamist binge at the moment. I went through a phase there where all I wanted to read were new polygamy books, and a lot of them became free on Audible, so I was devouring them on my lunch and work, getting ready to work for work, cleaning the house, but I think that's over. I've done my bit. I can't find any more free polygamy books on Audible, so we'll be getting back to our historical content as of next week. I hope I haven't bored you too much, but I like bringing light to this situation because not a lot of people know about it. Until next time, like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at Lady Jessica Riddell. Until next time, keep sweet.